What? What I'm sharing? It's not showing.
Oh, it's showing.
I don't see it.
All right, but I need the agenda, so can we go ahead?
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
The agenda's right here.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Town of Fairmount Heights Budget Hearing meeting. Today is Wednesday, June 17th, 2026. It is 6 o'clock. And I'd like to call this meeting to order. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Mayor Stewart,
Present.
Vice Chairman St. John,
Present.
Councilmember Waiters,
Present.
Councilmember Oscar.
Okay. There are no amendments to this agenda because it's only the budget hearing. So we can move right on down. Susan, you have the floor.
All righty. Good evening, Mayor, Council, citizens, and colleagues. Is everyone able to see the budget? All right. So first, I want to say thank you to the Mayor and Council for everything that you've done for fiscal year 27 to ensure that we were able to operate in the black and able to meet all the demands that we had in front of us. For fiscal year 27, there are not a lot of changes to the budget. You'll see when I get to the end that the overall net income is about the same as fiscal year 26. So on the left here, what I'm highlighting is the approved fiscal year 26 budget. For tonight, we're focusing on the fiscal year 27 budget. I won't go through every line, but I will highlight some of the major accounts that we need to discuss. First, our property taxes. Property taxes are set for fiscal year 27 at $700,011. That's based on a property tax rate of 0.43 cents per each $100 of assessed value. The property tax rate has not increased in the past, I believe, 4 or 5 years, so it will be the same again for fiscal year 27. You may ask, well, what's the difference in the income? Why do we have more income if the rate's the same? You have additional income because you have additional properties that have been built in the town. Also, assessments for individuals' homes have changed. I did share information at, I believe, the last meeting about property tax assessments, especially for some of the credits that residents may or may not be aware of. I'm not able to give you tax advice. That would be inappropriate. However, there are definitely credits that I would recommend that citizens take advantage of. And if you would like more information, please give the town a call. We can share information that we do have. In that section, that's the only change that we made. We anticipate receiving about the same income in 27 that we did in 25 for building permits, operating properties, which this is income $25,612 that we receive from businesses that have business property in the town, as well as our utilities. They have to pay a tax for having utilities in town. Then we also have revenue that comes in from our business licenses, as well as from our rental units, vacant lots, and vacant dwellings. Our next section, intergovernment transfers. Most of this is money that we receive from government agencies. These amounts we don't set. These amounts are given to us by the individual agencies. So these are the estimates that we will give for fiscal year 27. Sometimes this amount does change, and when it changes, if it's significant, then we have to amend the budget to reflect that change. I will once again remind citizens that income tax, when you file your income taxes, please do not forget, please make sure that your tax preparer puts Town of Fairmount Heights, not Capitol Heights, not Seat Pleasant, because you want Fairmount Heights to receive your portion of the taxes that you've paid. Our other revenue, which includes revenue from bulk trash and commercial trash, building hall rentals. A little later, I will show you some of the pictures of our building hall space. We've done renovations to it. It's a really nice space. One thing I'll say about the commercial trash and bulk trash residents, we do 2 days a year where we offer free bulk trash pickup. But you are able to have bulk trash picked up at other times. There is a fee schedule for items to be picked up. Please reach out to the town if you need to have bulk trash picked up on days other than our 2 free days that we offer. And then on those days, we do have things that we are not able to pick up. So we do have a schedule of information of items that we can and cannot pick up. Our next department is our police department. And so again, we don't have many changes in the police department for next year. We are excited that we have a new police chief, and he is working diligently to build our police department. So a lot of wonderful candidates are coming through, and a lot of good work is coming out of our police department. The changes that we made are based upon the future intentions of having additional safety devices in town to control speed and to control just overall traffic. However, these cameras will not, the speed camera, the red light camera, they will not happen at the beginning of the fiscal year. So that income has been reduced to be more in line with the revenue we would anticipate receiving midway through the year once the cameras are up. However, we do have in place a stop sign camera. And the camera is there to control people running through the stop signs. We are not seeing the changes that we were hoping, but we're not going to stop. We're going to continue to encourage people to understand that when you see a stop sign, you must stop. So we're hoping actually to see this number go down, but right now this is based upon the trends that we're seeing for fiscal year 26. So as you can see, there's about a $70,000 difference in our income from 2026 as compared to 2027 estimated income for 2027. Our next section is our administration department. This includes wages for the town administrator, the town manager, the treasurer, and the administrative assistant. Also, expenses that we pay for our professional fees, for our audit, our payroll company, legal, our IT support, and our consultant. You will see that for 2027, there is a change in the amount for the consultant. This has been in the budget for years. We are finally, this administration is finally going to move forward with bringing in a consultant to help with programming as well as funding. We have been blessed to receive 2 bonds, which we have not received bonds in a while. But we now have 2 bonds, and we're using that bond money to improve the building. And if we are allowed to, we are looking outward beyond the building for improvements we can do within the town. And so this consultant will be in place to help with, again, programming as well as funding. Because when you're looking for funding, you need to have your programs in place first. You don't get funding and then create programs. Insurance. We have not received any premium adjustments for fiscal year 27. So these amounts are based upon fiscal year 26 amounts. However, if we receive adjustments that are significant, then again, we would have to amend the budget. And we'll take a look at that as the year goes. Retirement. Retirement is based upon full-time employees who have been with the town for 3 years are eligible to receive $2,000 towards their retirement at that 3-year anniversary. So for next year, we will have 2 additional employees, if they stay, that would be eligible for retirement. So that's why you see the increase in retirement for fiscal year 27. Election, we had an election this year, and we will have an election next year. I will point out that this year, we just had our election, and so Councilmember Waiters has been reelected to serve for another 4 years. I'm looking forward to serving with you, Councilmember Waiters. And we do still have 2 vacant seats that the mayor and council will be appointing persons to serve in those two seats, and that term would be to serve the remaining 4 years of those 2 vacant seats. And next year's election,
No. Remember, we reduced the council to 5.
but
They would just,
let me finish. Oh. So it's 3 seats, and then remember next year when you have next year's election, that's where the 2 seats would be.
right, but they won't be serving for 4 years.
No, these 2 that were coming with Ms. Waiters, if they come in now, they would serve the rest of their term, which is 4 years. They would serve 4 years if they come with Ms. Waiters. Right, yeah, right. But anyway, we have 2 open seats, so we'll work through that piece, but we have 2 open seats and we will have an election next year. But my point in saying all this is that we do not anticipate the election being more in cost than it was for 2026. So we made no changes there. This next section is legislative, which is our mayor and council. The only changes that we made here, last year, we changed from the old structure that we had been under, which was really based on committees and being over public works or public safety or administration. Now, this administration has taken a more programmatic look at how to govern. And so the public safety and communications, those are the 2 focus areas because those allow us to reach everyone. So we did make an increase from the fiscal year 26 to fiscal year 27, based upon, and I'll share this a little later on, based upon some of the programs and activities that the mayor and council have planned for fiscal year 27. And I'm going to encourage residents to please continue to check our website. We have a lot of information on our website that we're going to continue to update you on what's happening throughout the year, and we really want your participation. Under stipends for mayor and council, you will notice that it has decreased. It has decreased because, again, the size of the council has been reduced from 7 to 5. And Mayor, I would just like to share that this information, as far as reducing the council, this is not something that the mayor and council did without a lot of consideration and without legal counsel. And in talking with the attorney and looking at the size of the number of residents that the council serves, in comparison to some of the other municipalities, the council was large for the number of residents that we serve. And so that was one of the major reasons for the decision to reduce the number of council members. But certainly the work has not been reduced and the plans have not been reduced. It's just the number of people that will be carrying that out is a little less. So again, citizens, we do really need and really want your input. The 1% 20743 coalition. This is based on the 0.1% of the expenses, the expense budget, the approved budget for fiscal year 27. So if there were any changes that were made on the floor tonight, then this amount here, this 1,221.62, this amount would change because it's based on the overall expense budget for fiscal year 27. 20743 Coalition is a wonderful collaboration with our other municipalities and allows us to broaden our reach, and as well as other municipalities to broaden their reach. So I'm excited about the work that's being done with the coalition. Municipal, this covers our building, everything that keeps us up and operating. As a staff, I say that we do a good job trying to make sure that we are good stewards of our resources. So we do have our lights that turn on and off when you come in the room, which keeps down the cost of our electricity. Because as you can see, we have several accounts that we have electric bills for. The Net Zero Park, this is a new one. Ms. Rumi worked really hard with HIP to have a beautiful park put in place where the net zero houses are. And that park has some really nice ground lighting. But one of the things that we agreed to when the lighting was put in, we agreed that we would absorb the cost for that lighting. We don't anticipate that lighting costing us much more than the cost for the pocket park. The one we have right here around the corner near Market Circle, that lighting doesn't cost us over $500 a year, and we anticipate that the Net Zero Park won't cost us much more, but we will know for sure after a year what that costs. So we'll take a look at that again in 28, but for now we have an estimate of $300. We did remove cable TV station. We had a contractor that was working with us for several years, Mr. Gray, and he was an asset to us and someone that we were really blessed to have when we first had our cable TV station in place. But now we're able to do all of the work that he was doing for us. We're able to do that work in-house. Our staff, along with our IT consultant, Jay Williams, that allows us to be able to not have to have an outside consultant to help us with the cable TV station. So that's why you see that removed for fiscal year 27. Our public safety department. I can't say enough about our public safety department. We have a chief who has come in and hit the ground running. One of the things that the mayor and council tasked the chief with, each person that came in to interview for the position was aware that the police department is a priority and building that department is a priority. So even though the wages have not changed, it's because in 26, we anticipated building the department and we didn't have a full-time chief until midway through the year. In 27, that salaries will remain the same as we build the department. Chief and I did have an extensive conversation about the police department. Right now, I do believe that with the budget that we have in place, he'll be able to hire the officers that he's looking to hire. However, if during the year we realize that there are some adjustments that need to be made, mayor and council will come before you at that time to ask about making adjustments if we need to do that. We don't anticipate having to do that. National Night Out. We did not make any changes to this. However, National Night Out really grew last year. We did a lot more than we had done the year before. This year, Chief has received some assistance from his colleagues, and so we don't anticipate that it's going to cost us much more, but we're going to have a lot more National Night Out. But I did tell Chief, based on some of the things that he has shared, I'm excited, but I do think, Mayor and Council, we may have to come to you and ask to move some funds around because he has a lot. He has a lot going on. But residents, please look forward to, please keep your calendars open. That's coming up in August. I think it's the first Tuesday in August, I think is National Night Out. And so we'll have information out about that. So in this department, no other changes except for down here with the speed cameras and red light and stop light cameras. You have to account for the fees. And so because the cameras are not going to be operational all year long, we did reduce the fees because we would not be receiving fees from those cameras for the entire year. Our Public Works Department, they are a very hard-working department. As residents, I think most residents, you were able to see a lot of the work that the Public Works Department has been doing throughout the town. During the snow, Public Works worked at some points, it seemed like it was around the clock. Now that we're into the growing season, they are out constantly maintaining all of the properties of the town that the town is responsible for. So the change you see here is needing to hire additional support for the Public Works Department. We need at least another part-time person to assist with the Public Works Department, definitely during growing season, but also during the winter, because that is the time that we then maintain the areas that we don't have growth. And along with a small increase for some of the Public Works Department personnel. The change right here for benefits, I removed this because it's a little misleading. These are employee-funded benefits. So they've always been in the budget for transparency. So you will know that these are some of the benefits that employees are able to take advantage of. However, they're not expenses because the employees fund them themselves. So they're really liability. So this part is coming out just for transparency purposes and also for recording because it's not an expense. Tickets and violations. Employees are responsible if they receive a violation while operating a town vehicle, they're responsible for paying that violation. And so even though we pay the expense, they pay the town. So this should always net to zero because unless the mayor and council say so, there are not expenses that the mayor and council will absorb unless there's an extenuating circumstance. And then if that happens, I'll make sure that I share that during our monthly reports. We left this in the budget for next year, outsourced trash service. We have not had to use this for several years, ever since Mr. Cradle and his team came on board, and we were able to also get our new trash truck and our dump truck. We have not had to outsource our trash service. However, we have kept this in here for next year because we have a lot of requests for bulk trash. And so we may need to use a third party to help with bulk trash, especially because we should not be using our trash truck for bulk trash. It was never intended to be used that way. We were advised when we bought it not to do that. And so in looking towards the fall, if we do not have a vehicle in place to help us with that, we may have to look to outsource that to help to be able to allow citizens to get some of the things out of their house that they want to get out before the holiday seasons comes in. So that's why that got left in there. I think those are the only changes I wanted to point out for Public Works. These accounts, dump truck, trash truck, these are paid in full, so these will come out. We won't have this in the budget. When you see it again, these lines will be gone. It'll be nice and clean. So the changes for Public Works between fiscal year 26 and 27 are based upon information that I just shared. And so our overall budget, as you can see, we had a net income last year anticipated of 71,000. We have a net income this year anticipated for 70,000. So that's a quick summary of our budget for fiscal year 27.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker.
Okay. And before we do the ordinance,
job.
I did a couple things I wanted to just share with the citizens.
Okay,
Okay, yes, okay. So let me stop sharing here. And let me go here. All right. Are you able to see this? Did I start sharing it?
I'm sure.
But I didn't start sharing again, did I?
No.
Okay, let's try this again. Where do we go? All right. Okay. So let's go here. And let's share. I want to share. All right. Okay, so this is just a couple pictures from things that have happened around the town of Fairmount Heights. We purchased a Kubota, which allowed us, which was such a blessing, it really allowed us to be ready for the snowstorm. We also have made some improvements to our rental space, our basement rental space. You can see right over in here, we have a commercial refrigerator, we have a freezer. Our Public Works team redid a lot of the basement, so that space is available for rent. So encouraging residents to take a look and to consider renting space here when you have an activity. Our Public Works Department has been doing a wonderful job to keep the curbing done and clean throughout the town. This is something that I point out because now that I no longer live in a municipality, and while I love Prince George's County, I definitely see the difference. My area, we don't get this. So if I were to show you pictures of how my curbs look, you'll be like, okay, quite different. So this is what you get when you live in a municipality. We have a team of people that go out to keep the areas clean. And so just wanted to share this information. This is how it looked before they started, and you can see how it looked after they had done some of the cleanup.
I get calls all the time about how clean the town looks.
I'm sure, because it looks nice. I think where I live is a nice area, but it is not maintained like this area is. Also, our Veterans Monument. If some citizens remember years ago, we did an improvement to our Veterans Monument. The Public Works Department, they continue to maintain it because we have another phase of that. But this was them showing what they needed to do as far as cleaning, what's it called?
Pressure washing.
The sidewalks. And then this wall here, this wall is historic. Ms. Sarumi and I have shed a lot of tears over trying to get this wall redone. The Historic Committee they are battling us and not letting us make the changes that we want to make. But Public Works is doing a good job of trying to maintain this. They can't pressure wash it the way they really need to because it is kind of fragile and it is considered historic, so we can't take it down. But this is an area that they maintain. So again, you can just see them here, pressure washing, something that you don't see happening in areas where you're not incorporated. What else did I want to share? I want to share this picture. This is our Public Works Department cleaning up all of the overgrowth and the excessive invasive weeds and debris that we have throughout the town. So again, in other areas throughout the county, you don't see this happening. I wish I had a picture of the tree that fell. A tree fell and it blocked the roadway. Public Works took that tree down to make sure that we could have access. And that was down within, was it 24 hours, Mayor?
It was down in less than 4.
Less than 4 hours. Okay, less than 4 hours. And then we had our Thanksgiving, our holiday basket giveaway. These are all the turkeys that we were able to get. And we had a collaboration with the lodge, and they came in to help us. These tables were full of packages that we gave away to residents and non-residents. These tables, boxes upon boxes and bags upon bags. And so you'll see in a little bit when I show you the calendar, we will have this again this year.
In Sheriff Road Church? Oh, yes, in Sheriff Road Church.
And Sheriff Road Church. Thank you. Thank you. This is one of the things that I am really excited to share. If I can find it. I'll just remind everyone. This is what we started off with when the snow happened. As staff, we were able to come to work if we could get here. This is what it looked like on day one. This is what we were able to see on day one. Doesn't happen if you aren't in an incorporated area, because in the county we didn't have this. So this is where our tax dollars are going. I wanted to show another picture, and I don't see it, of Public Works. Let me stop sharing. Maybe I have it here. I got one more thing to share.
Oh, we love this.
Okay. Okay. So we have our Public Works team. The Director of Public Works decided that he wanted to see if staff could be trained to repair sidewalks. I wish I had thought to bring the amount that we spent, though we did use our highway user funds to repair sidewalks, but now our Public Works staff, they're able to do some of the repairs that need to be done to the sidewalks. So they can't do all of them, but they have been trained to do repairs to the sidewalks and to the roadways. And one of the things that we were blessed with, our vendor who helped us with the roadways actually helped to train our staff. So it's a win-win. We have someone that we know we can depend on to come behind us to make sure that it's done right. But he trained and helped our staff to learn how to do the sidewalks. And this is what I want to show. So this is my area. This is how my area looked for days. Meanwhile, I got this picture from Mr. Cradle, first day. Miss Walker, the building's open if you need to come to work. No, because this is what I looked like. And when the county came through, you can see right in here, there's my street. We couldn't go down the sidewalks because they put all the snow up over here. So just want to say that your tax dollars are being spent wisely. And this is the last thing I wanted to show, the mural that will be on the fence at the Pocket Park. Again, one of the projects that Ms. Sarumi worked really hard on, one of the things that we can be proud of in the town of Fairmount Heights. So if you haven't had an opportunity to go by and see this rendition of the mural that will be on this wall a little later on this year. And Mayor Council, I'll close with just a list of, for the citizens, a couple things coming up and things that are planned for next year. And if I leave anything off, please please fill in. Tomorrow, there's a chat and chew with the mayor and chief. Friday, chat and chew on Friday, on Juneteenth with the mayor and chief. So please plan to come out. We also have a food distribution every first and second Sunday. Please plan to come out. We have really, really good food, and we would like our residents to be able to take advantage of the opportunity, especially in these times when food is quite expensive. We have a bike rodeo planned. We're gonna have golf lessons.
For Town of Fairmount Heights residents.
Fairmount Heights residents. We will have our annual backpack giveaway before our kids go back to school. That'll be in August. We will have our annual backpack giveaway. There will be a sign up for that, so please look out for that. As I mentioned, National Night Out. We're gonna have that this year, and we always have a wonderful time. We're gonna have something new this year, Residents Day. And Residents Day will include food trucks. So please keep a lookout for that. Our Harvest Fest, every year we have a Harvest Fest and we have a trunk or treat. Miss Councilmember St. John does an amazing job decorating and showing us how to get our trucks and cars decorated, and Miss Russell has helped us get our cars decorated. So it's a wonderful time. We had the lodge to come out. So residents, we want you to keep on the lookout for this. Veterans Day, November 11th, we always do a wreath laying. Councilmember Oscar just did a Memorial Day event for veterans. And so we really want everyone to come out and participate in our Veterans Day, our wreath laying, and who knows, we may have another breakfast. So be on the lookout for that. We may do breakfast, we may do brunch, we're not sure, but be on the lookout for that on Veterans Day. Our Thanksgiving baskets, that was what we showed when I showed the tables downstairs. We'll have that in November. We're gonna have a senior gala. Miss Councilmember Waiters has done an amazing job of having our senior program, and one of the things she wants to do is to have a gala. So the planning for that continues, and we're looking forward to all the things for the seniors. And we wrap our year up with our tree lighting, which includes our toy and our coat drive. So please, toy giveaway and coat giveaway. It's not a drive, it's a giveaway. So please plan to come out and participate in all the events we have going on. Again, we have 2 seats open, so please consider joining the mayor and council, because we do want and need your input. Please consider that, and please know that we are here to serve you. And so that concludes my presentation for the budget fiscal year 27.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker. Good job.
Thank you.
We have been responsible council members, huh? Yeah, stewards of the money.
Yes.
All right, I did miss a step earlier. I did not accept the motion to adopt the agenda. Is there a motion?
Wait, so move.
Can I get a second?
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Susan. Sorry about that. All right, now she's going to read into record the resolution.
All right. Town of Fairmount Heights, 2025-2026 legislative session, ordinance FHO 01-27, introduced by Mayor Akiva Stewart. First reading, second reading, third reading. Budget fiscal year 27. An ordinance to adopt the Town of Fairmount Heights budget for fiscal year 27, July 1st, 2026 through June 3rd, 2027. Whereas the mayor has presented the town council the annual budget for fiscal year 2027, July 1st, 2026 through June 3rd, 2027. Whereas the town council has discussed the budget with the administration and has made further recommendations. Be it ordained by the mayor and council of the town of Fairmount Heights, sitting in hearing on the 17th day of June, 2026. 1. The property tax assessment as per Prince George's County property tax assessment per owner shall be 43 cents per $100 of assessed property value for land and improvements. 2. The budget and all other detailed narratives presented by the mayor and council shall be considered a part of this ordinance. Summary of approved fiscal year 27, July 1st, 2026 through June 3rd, 2027. Revenue. General revenues, $781,323.33. Intergovernment transfers, $310,247. Other revenues, $69,113. Police Department, $132,200. Total revenue, $1,292,883.33. Expenditures, administration, $266,653. Election, $2,850. Legislative Department, $59,071.62. Municipal, $45,414. Public Safety, $374,783. Public Works, $473,867.04. Total expenditures, $1,222,638.66. This ordinance shall become effective on the date specified by the ordinance. The budget shall take effect on July 1, 2026. Town of Baton Heights, Mayor and Town Council. Akiva Stewart, Mayor. Tamisha St. John, Vice Chairman. Gilmore Oscar, Council Member. Patricia Waiters, Council Member. Attested, Shaniqua Russell, Town Clerk, Council Clerk.
I'll accept a motion to adopt this budget.
I'm going to adopt this budget.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Oh, we have to go down the line and vote, right?
Mhm.
Aye. Mayor Stewart.
Aye. Vice Chair St. John.
Aye. Waiters himself.
Oh.
Aye.
All right, this budget has been adopted. Thank you, council. And that concludes our budget hearing. I'll accept the motion to adjourn this meeting.
So move Waiters.
Second,
Aye. Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you, everyone. See you at 7:30 for the town meeting.